I was dropping off lunch at her office, nothing special, just a cheap burger and fries. But when I walked in, I saw her through the conference room glass. She wasn't in a meeting. She was sitting on a janitor's lap. His hands were inside her blouse. She saw me, didn't even flinch, just smirked and said, "Guess the delivery boy came early." That's when something in me snapped, and I started planning her downfall. Her name was Vanessa. We'd been together 6 years, married for 3. She was a receptionist at a corporate law office downtown. Always came home with stories about people trying to hit on her, interns, lawyers, delivery guys. "They're all so desperate," she used to say, like she was above it all. I believed her. God help me, I believed every word. We weren't rich. I was driving for DoorDash full-time. I'd lost my warehouse job after the company downsized. Vanessa said she didn't mind. "We're in this together," she told me. I remember that night, she made spaghetti, kissed me on the forehead, and said we'd figure it out. That was 2 weeks before I saw her on the janitor's lap. That day, I got a stacked lunch order from a building on 11th Street. For deliveries, 1 stop, 3 offices, and the last was hers. I thought it was fate. I picked up an extra cheeseburger and a large fries. Figured I'd surprise her with lunch, make her laugh, maybe take a selfie for her Instagram stories. She always said she liked little gestures. The security guard at the front desk let me up. "She's in the conference room," he said without looking up. I turned the corner and froze. Glass walls. Wide open view. Middle of the day. Vanessa was straddling the janitor in one of the leather swivel chairs. His uniform had the building's cleaning company logo. His name tag said Luis. His hands were inside her blouse. Her head was back, laughing. They didn't see me at first, but then she opened her eyes, saw me, and smiled. Not shocked, not scared. Smiled. Like she was amused. She leaned in and whispered something to him. He turned to look at me, and then kissed her neck while staring at me through the glass. I dropped the burger and fries. She opened the door like it was just another Tuesday. "Hey," she said, brushing her hair behind her ear. "You forgot the soda." I didn't say a word. I just turned and walked out. Down the elevator. Through the lobby. Past the security guard. Outside. I sat in my car for 20 minutes with the delivery app still running. I'd seen enough to ruin any man. But I couldn't stop shaking. The worst part? I still wanted to believe there was an explanation. Maybe she was drunk. Maybe he forced himself on her. Maybe. That night, she didn't come home. She texted me at 10:13 p.m. "Staying at Jenna's. Don't wait up." That's when it became real. She wasn't sorry. She wasn't afraid. She thought I'd just accept it. She thought I'd be too weak to fight back. She didn't know what I was about to become. She came home 2 days later. No apology. No explanation. She walked into the kitchen like nothing happened, dropped her purse on the counter, and asked, "Did you get a chance to fix the Wi-Fi?" I just stared at her. She didn't look at me. Just poured herself a glass of wine, leaned against the fridge, and scrolled her phone like we were still married, like I hadn't caught her with a janitor's tongue down her throat. I couldn't take it anymore. "What the hell was that, Vanessa?" She didn't even flinch. "What was what?" "In the office." "Luis." She rolled her eyes. "Oh, that." She sipped her wine. "You saw that, huh?" "I watched it," I said. "Through the glass. You didn't stop. You didn't even try to explain." She looked up at me and tilted her head. "What would you like me to say?" I blinked. "Maybe. Sorry. Maybe. I messed up. Maybe." "Okay," she cut in, raising a finger. "First of all, you barged into my workplace like some jealous teenager. Second, it wasn't even anything serious. Third," she smiled, "you're really gonna cry over a janitor?" I felt my face flush. Not with anger. With humiliation. "You laughed at me," I whispered. "You looked at me while he was—" She held up her hand again. "Oh, please, don't be dramatic. You always twist everything like a victim. You're acting like I burned down a church." I swallowed hard. "I loved you." She finally looked at me. Really looked. And for a second, I thought I saw something shift in her face. Regret? Guilt? No. Pity. "You did," she said. "And maybe that's the problem." I took a step toward her. "I want to work through this. I'm willing to talk. To forgive you. We can figure it out. Just tell me the truth." "Why am?" She laughed. actually laughed. You want the truth? Fine. He's simple. He doesn't mope. He doesn't beg. And when I'm with him, I don't feel like I'm dragging dead weight around. I felt like she slapped me. You're really that naive, she added. You've been unemployed for almost a year. You deliver fast food like it's a career. And you still think I'm supposed to pretend I respect you. I took a step back. My hands were shaking. But she wasn't done. You've always been weak, she said quietly. That's why I didn't even bother hiding it. She picked up her wine glass and walked past me toward the bedroom. Oh, and Luis, she called over her shoulder. He fixes toilets, which is more than you've fixed in this house in 3 years. I slept in my car that night, and the next, but on the third night, I came back. Not to beg, not to fight, to prepare, because now I knew what I was dealing with. She didn't just cheat. She enjoyed making me crawl, but I was done crawling. Now it was my turn to build the trap, and she'd never see it coming. She built her whole world on appearances. Vanessa wasn't just a receptionist. She branded herself like she was something more. Executive assistant to senior counsel, she'd say at parties. She posted fake motivational quotes over office selfies. Always tagged the law firm in her photos like she ran the place. She had over 8,000 followers on Instagram. Nothing huge, but enough to matter in the little pond she swam in. So that's where I hit her. I created a burner account. Name was clean. No profile photo. Just a handle. At Glass Office Witness. Then I uploaded a 10-second clip. No faces. Just the silent footage from the office hallway security cam I got from a friend who worked third shift in the building. He owed me a favor. He pulled it without telling anyone. In the clip, you could clearly see her, Luis, her climbing on top of him in a conference room. 2:37 p.m. timestamp. Her laughing as she looked toward the door. No audio. No violence. No vulgarity. But unmistakable. I captioned it. Corporate professionalism in action. Wonder what HR thinks of this. Then I tagged the law firm. And watched. Within 30 minutes, the video was reposted by a gossip page that follows workplace drama in NYC. Within 2 hours, it had 22K views. By sundown, it was viral. Niche viral, but enough. Comments exploded. Is that the firm on 11th? She's married? Someone's about to be unemployed and divorced. By 10 p.m., she still hadn't said a word to me. She was in the bedroom, pacing, whispering on the phone. Door locked. But I could hear it in her voice. Panic. Then, around midnight, she came out. Dead quiet. No yelling this time. She stood in the hallway holding her phone. You posted that, she said. Not a question. I didn't look up. I saw what you did. I know how you think. You humiliated me on purpose. I kept scrolling through my phone. She stepped closer. My job's on hold. HR suspended me pending review of misconduct allegations. Luis got fired. They told me if I speak about it publicly, I'm in breach of my confidentiality clause. Still, I said nothing. She stared at me for a long time, waiting for me to crack. To say I was sorry. To admit it. But I didn't. Because there was nothing to admit. She did it all herself. She just never thought anyone would hold up a mirror. You think this makes you strong? She whispered. You think this is power? I finally looked at her. No. I think it's justice. She walked out the door that night, with just her purse and phone. I didn't stop her. Didn't even ask where she was going. But I knew. She'd go to one of her friends. Try to rebuild. Respin the story. And I'd let her. Because while she was scrambling to pick up the pieces, I was already preparing my next move. And this time, it wouldn't just ruin her career. It would hit something even deeper. Her reputation with the people she actually cared about. 3 days passed. No calls. No texts. No sign of her. I started to think she was actually gone. Maybe the public shaming finally broke her enough to leave quietly. I was wrong. It started with a knock on my door. A man in a suit. Late 40s. Clean-shaven. Badge clipped to his belt. Are you Eric Marston? I nodded. I'm Detective Riley. We received a complaint regarding possible cyber harassment and unauthorized surveillance. I'd like to ask you a few questions. My stomach dropped. She went to the police. I let him in. We sat down. He pulled out a notepad. Did you recently post any videos or images online involving a woman named Vanessa Marston? I didn't lie. I posted a clip. Security footage. No audio. It's public hallway footage. Do you have legal access to that footage? I hesitated. It was given to me. He raised an eyebrow. By whom? I'm not at liberty to say. He scribbled something down. Did you install or use any hidden recording devices in your home or vehicle? No. Did you access any of her accounts without permission? No. He stared at me for a long time. We'll be investigating. In the meantime, I'd advise you to refrain from posting anything else. And if you're contacted by Ms. Marston or anyone on her behalf, log it. After he left, I sat on the couch, hands shaking. She didn't care about justice. She was playing for leverage. I checked my email. She'd sent one message. Subject: you wanted war. Body: now you're going to learn what losing feels like. That day, my phone started blowing up. Her sister messaged me first. Why is Vanessa saying you've been tracking her? That you hacked her accounts? Then one of our mutual friends. She's saying you posted revenge stuff because she left you. Are you okay? Then her old coworker. She's calling you unstable. That she has texts from you threatening her. I wanted to scream. Instead, I did the one thing I hadn't done yet. I wrote out everything. The affair. The footage. The janitor. The false restraining order attempt. I didn't blast it publicly. I sent it, one by one, to the people who were reaching out, only the ones I trusted to read it all. Attached was a screenshot of her message. Now you're going to learn what losing feels like. By nightfall, I was getting different kinds of messages. Man, I had no idea. She's been twisting the story. Whatever she's doing, don't let her win. But the damage was done. My landlord called. Said he'd received an anonymous complaint claiming I'd been aggressive and unstable. He said he wasn't evicting me, but he also wasn't renewing my lease. I had 2 months to leave. She'd poisoned the air around me. Jobs, neighbors, friends, she was tossing venom into every corner of my life, hoping something would stick. And it worked. For the first time since I caught her, I felt like she was winning. But that night, just before midnight, I got a message I never expected. It was from a man I didn't know. No subject. Just one sentence. I have something you'll want to see. It's about Vanessa. And attached? An audio file. I hit play. 38 seconds in, my jaw dropped. Because in her own voice, clear as day, Vanessa was bragging. I filed a fake report. I know what I'm doing. All I have to do is say the word stalker, and they eat out of my hand. The audio changed everything. It wasn't just proof. It was a loaded weapon. 38 seconds of Vanessa bragging about how easy it was to manipulate the system. Her voice, crystal clear, saying the words. All I have to do is say the word stalker, and they eat out of my hand. The man who sent it was named Marcus. He used to date one of Vanessa's coworkers. Said he recognized her name from the viral office video. Turns out, he'd heard a similar recording before, Vanessa bragging at a rooftop party, drunk and careless. He recorded it on his phone, thinking it was just a funny story to share later. But once the internet caught fire with her name, he put it together. I don't like people who lie for sport, he said in the follow-up message. Do whatever you want with it. I listened to the clip 10 more times. Then I made my next move. First, I uploaded the audio to a private drive. I wrote a short, anonymous tip and sent it directly to the precinct handling her complaint. Second, I sent it to her employer's ethics board. Even if they already suspended her, they hadn't made a final ruling. Third, and this was the most important, I sent a carefully worded email to Vanessa. Subject: you lose the next move. Body: you faked reports. I have proof. The next time you open your mouth, the whole city will hear what it really sounds like when you talk about eating people alive. Your call, asterisk asterisk. She replied in under 2 minutes. Where did you get that? You broke the law. I didn't respond. She messaged again. You want to destroy me? Fine. But this won't end with you looking clean. Still, I didn't respond. Because it wasn't about conversation anymore. It was about balance. And for the first time since this started, the scales tipped in my direction. That same evening, I got a call from Detective Riley. We've listened to the clip, he said. Your name's being cleared from the file. We'll be closing this matter, pending review of the source. You're not going to charge her? He hesitated. There's a difference between lying and filing a false report under oath. She never reached that point. But she tried to ruin me. I get it, he said. And off the record? Be careful. People like her. They don't go away clean. Click. My hands were steady when I hung up. My mind wasn't racing anymore. She'd tried everything. Weaponized her body, her tears, the legal system, public opinion. And now? She had nothing. No job. No man. No control. But I wasn't celebrating. Not yet. Because part of me knew she wasn't finished. And I was right. The very next morning, I opened my front door and found an envelope. No return address. Inside was a single document. A lawsuit. Vanessa was suing me for defamation and emotional damages. She was losing the war. But she still had one shot left. And she was aiming it straight at the court system. I stared at the lawsuit in my hands. Filed in County Civil Court. Plaintiff, Vanessa Marston. Defendant, Eric Marston. Allegations. Defamation of character. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. Malicious cyber harassment. She attached exhibits. Screenshots of my anonymous posts. Comments from the viral video. A photo of her crying outside her office with the caption, "This is what bullying looks like." Not posted by me, but she made it look like it all came from me. Then came the witness list. Her sister, 2 coworkers, and shockingly, Luis, the janitor. She convinced him I ruined his life. Said I got him fired out of jealousy. Now he was angry, jobless, and willing to testify. The whole case read like a script, carefully written to make me look like a scorned, unstable ex with a grudge and a Wi-Fi connection. She was using my own silence against me. She claimed she'd tried to avoid court, but that I forced her hand by relentlessly harassing her. She listed the damages. Loss of employment, psychological distress, ongoing therapy costs, reputational harm, and the number at the bottom? $150,000. That's what she was asking for. I sat at the table for an hour, just staring at the papers. Because this wasn't about money. It was about flipping the narrative. She wanted a courtroom. A place where facts could be blurred. Where tears went over truth. Where a woman crying on the stand is believed before a man says a single word. And I'll admit, she almost had me. She almost broke me again. But then I remembered the audio. Her voice. All I have to do is say the word stalker, and they eat out of my hand. I didn't just have evidence. I had a timeline. So I called a lawyer. Not some cheap online form filler, I mean a real one. A woman named Brianna Hayes. She specialized in defamation and domestic retaliation. Sharp. Direct. Zero patience for theatrics. I sent her everything. Within 24 hours, she filed a counterclaim, not just a defense, but an offensive strike. We requested dismissal based on fraudulent misrepresentation. We attached the voice recording, the verified metadata, and screenshots of Vanessa admitting to manipulating perception for personal protection. The next part? That was strategic. Brianna leaked the filing to a legal blog that covered high-conflict relationship cases. She didn't need to mention names, just hinted at a local viral breakup now headed to court with new audio evidence of manufactured allegations. Within a day, gossip forums picked it up. The tide began to turn. Her lawsuit wasn't even scheduled yet, and the public was already doubting her. But Vanessa? She doubled down. She posted a photo of herself in a neck brace. Caption. Still healing. Still standing. Still fighting. It was fake. There was no accident. No injury. Just a dollar store prop and a desperate woman spinning sympathy like sugar. But the post blew up. Sympathy flooded in. You're so strong. Men like him need to be held accountable. You deserve justice. I could feel the scales tipping back. She was good at this. Too good. But her next mistake would cost her everything. Because the day after her neck brace post, she tried to contact the one person who should have stayed silent. And I caught it. She couldn't help herself. The attention from the neck brace post was dying down. Sympathy only lasts so long when people start asking questions. So she tried to stir the pot again. She reached out to Brianna, my lawyer, through a fake account. She thought she was slick. New profile. No followers. Female name. Claimed to be a paralegal with sensitive information about the defendant. Wrote that she had proof Eric was violent and that he's hiding mental health issues. Said she just wanted to help the victim win. She attached a PDF. What she didn't know was that Brianna doesn't open unknown attachments. Her firm has software that scans metadata before anything's downloaded. And what did that software find? The file was created on Vanessa's home IP address, authored on a laptop tied to her Amazon account, last modified using her real name in the PDF metadata. She'd tried to plant fake evidence to poison the legal process. Witness tampering, attempted evidence fabrication, civil fraud. We didn't say a word. We waited 72 hours. Then Brianna filed a motion. Inside it, a detailed timeline of the fake profile's messages, screenshots, metadata reports, and a forensic affidavit from the software technician verifying the origin. The motion wasn't just to dismiss Vanessa's lawsuit. It was to seek sanctions, meaning not only would her lawsuit be thrown out, she could be forced to pay my legal fees and potentially face criminal referral. The court clerk scheduled a hearing within 5 business days, and that's when Vanessa finally cracked. The night before the hearing, she showed up, not at my door, but outside Brianna's office, sobbing. She didn't come with lawyers. She came alone, in sweats, hood up, mascara streaks. Brianna buzzed me while Vanessa was still standing in the hallway. She's here, she said. She's asking if you'll speak to her privately. I told her to wait. I wanted her to sit with it. After 15 minutes, I came down. She jumped up the second she saw me. I'm sorry, she said, voice shaking. I messed up. I panicked. I didn't mean to take it this far. I stayed silent. You were right. Okay? About everything. I tried to control the story. I thought if I could get ahead of it, I could protect myself. Her eyes welled up. Please, Eric, don't go through with the sanctions. Don't ruin me. I'll withdraw everything. I'll delete my accounts. I'll sign anything you want. She took a step closer. I'll disappear. I looked her in the eye, and I saw the real her for the first time. Not the curated profile. Not the confident office flirt. Not the manipulative victim. Just a scared, cornered woman who ran out of place. And still, I didn't say a word. I turned around, walked back into the building, and left her standing there in the cold. Because now I was the one who held all the cards. And she knew it. The morning of the sanctions hearing, she didn't show up alone. She walked in with a new attorney, one of those expensive downtown types with cufflinks, a briefcase, and a permanent smirk. The kind of man who doesn't ask what his client did, just how to make it go away. He requested a sidebar with the judge before we even sat down. Brianna leaned over and whispered, he's going to try to settle this before it's entered into public record. He did. And it worked. They offered to drop the lawsuit, withdraw all claims, and pay half our legal fees. In exchange, we'd pull the sanctions motion and agree not to pursue criminal referral. It was smart, cold, strategic, manipulative, just like her. Brianna turned to me. It's your call. You want to go for blood? Or let her crawl away bleeding? I looked across the courtroom at Vanessa. She didn't look broken. She looked calm, confident, even like she knew this would happen. And in that moment, I realized something. She didn't care about winning in court. She cared about surviving in reputation. Because a dismissed lawsuit? That's a headline that dies in a day. But sanctions? Criminal referrals? That's career-ending. So I agreed to the terms. We signed, walked out. And that should have been the end. But it wasn't. Because 2 days later, a story ran on a local legal gossip blog. High-conflict civil dispute quietly settled. Sources say accusations were fabricated. The article didn't name names. But the timing was perfect. And the language? It was designed to make me look like the aggressor who'd used legal pressure to silence a woman. She planted it. No doubt in my mind. And people bought it. Comments flooded in. Typical. Money wins again. Wonder what the guy paid her to shut up. She deserves justice. The system failed her. She won. Not legally, not financially, but publicly. Because people believe what they want to believe, and she knew exactly how to feed them. My inbox filled up again. Friends asking if it was true. Employers hesitating to return my calls. People whispering in the background. And for the first time in weeks, I felt tired. Exhausted from trying to prove I wasn't the villain in her little tragedy. She poisoned the well, then walked away before drinking from it. But here's the thing. She forgot something. Or maybe she didn't know I had it at all. It had been sitting in my inbox for weeks. A file. From Marcus, The guy who sent me the original audio. He found something else, and he only just forwarded it to me with a message. Found this while clearing out my backups. Figured you might want it. Looks important. I opened the file, listened, watched, and froze. Because what she said in this video, if released, would destroy her. Personally, professionally, permanently. And that's when I realized. The war wasn't over. It had just shifted sides. It was a video. A party from maybe a year ago. Dim lights, music in the background. Vanessa holding a wine glass, clearly tipsy, standing in a circle with a few people. The camera wasn't focused on her. It was casual, background noise. But her voice cut through clearly when someone off-screen brought up relationships. She laughed. Then she said, "Oh please, men are just tools. I make them feel seen, let them feel useful, and when I'm done, I drop them. You think I care? All they do is pay bills and cry." The group laughed. She kept going. "You want power? Make a man love you, and then make him beg. That's when you know you've won." Someone asked her if she felt bad. She shrugged and said, "It's not my job to teach grown boys how to be men." The file ended there. 31 seconds. That's all it was. But enough to burn every bridge she ever stood on. No filter, no spin, no context to hide behind. She couldn't explain it away. If I posted it, just once, it would spread like wildfire. Her name would be scorched across every platform she ever used to elevate herself. Future employers? Done. Social influence? Erased. Her brand? Ash. And she knew it. Because somehow, she found out I had it. Maybe Marcus told someone. Maybe she hacked something. I didn't care. Because the next night, she came to my door. She didn't knock. She rang the bell once, then stood back with her hands folded, like a child sent to confess. When I opened it, she didn't say a word. Just looked at me. Then, slowly, she dropped to her knees on my porch. Real tears this time. Her voice barely above a whisper. "Please don't post it." I said nothing. "I'll do anything. Just please. That video, it'll finish me." She looked up, her face wet, her eyes swollen. "I'll leave town. I'll sign whatever you want. I won't say another word about you to anyone. Just let me walk away. Please." I watched her. Not with hate. Not with satisfaction. But with clarity. This was it. This was what I worked for. Every night spent building proof. Every humiliation I'd swallowed. Every blow she landed while smiling. She was broken. And I had the choice. I could end her. Or I could walk away knowing she'd never dare come for me again. I turned, walked back inside, and left the door open behind me. She didn't follow. She didn't say thank you. She just sat there, crying quietly. And before I closed the door, I said one thing. "What would you do if you were me?"